This is a HeadGum podcast.
Holy shit, it's August.
Oh my God.
And we're in London, recording this ad 2 days before our live show in London.
That's what's up.
There are some tickets still available. Let's say that right off the bat. If you want to come see us, if you're listening to this in London, it's Monday. On Tuesday, that's August 2nd, we're going to be at the O2 Shepherd's Bush Theater, perhaps our biggest show ever.
Yeah. So you really don't want to not be a part of it, because that would make it a smaller show.
And you can get tickets at ifiwereyoushow.com. But as for this episode, it's brought to you by one of our favorites, always and forever, MeUndies.
That is correct, sir.
Whether you're wearing a suit or sweats, you spend almost 24 hours a day in your underwear. So why don't you start with the most comfortable, fashionable, affordable, stylish underwear Jake or I have ever worn, and that's from MeUndies.com.
What?
I'm just saying, do you agree or disagree?
Don't look at me.
I wasn't. Jake's looking at a puppet.
You're making me uncomfortable, man.
They got the boxer briefs, trunks, boxers, briefs. What do you recommend?
I'll recommend a pair that I'm wearing right now. The boxer brief. Oh, is this the April design of the month?
Though they do have designs of the month. Jake is taking off his pants right now. That's why he's stretching and seeming a little distant. But they don't just have underwear. They have outerwear. They have shirts. They have hoodies. They have comfortable pajama pants for men and women. Everything is so comfortable. Every pair of MeUndies is made entirely from sourced modal, which is a fabric twice as soft as cotton. We rant and rave about it because we actually use it. And shipping is free to the U.S. and Canada. You save up to $8 a pair with the MeUndies subscription plan.
Yeah, I'm a subscriber. Y'all know that.
I'm a subscriber. I'm not going to give up. I'm a subscriber. Keep on subscribing. Or get a single pair, and that's 20% off.
That's really cool.
Thanks, dude. I made it up myself.
Well, it was the Destiny's Child, I think.
Oh, accidentally, I think.
Not accidentally. Not accidentally.
20% off your first order if you go to MeUndies.com/Jake or MeUndies.com/Amir. So check them out. Go to MeUndies.com/Jake or MeUndies.com/Amir for 20% off your first order. Some of you might be thinking it's time to upgrade your underwear game.
Yeah, tell you what. Why don't you do it? Take a photo of yourself in your underwear.
All right, again.
Oh, really?
You really want the underwear photos?
It actually really does sound very pervy. It's not
now that I say it out loud.
I just want you guys to support our sponsors. Don't send me any photos of you in your underwear.
But if you should tweet them and I follow you, I mean that's not illegal. It's also good if you know anybody whose birthday is in August.
That's me. My birthday's in 4 days, and I'll be turning 29.
Well, you'll be turning 31.
No.
You don't hit 30 and then go back to 1.
I turned 29.
Again.
Oh, yeah.
You should have done this last year when you turned 30. This is like, you're already past that.
The cat's out of the bag.
So if you have any August or September birthdays coming up, check it out. MeUndies.com/Jake or MeUndies.com/Amir. All right, let's get started with this episode. It was a fun one. Travis McElroy.
Oh, yeah.
Of My Brother, and Me. Another advice podcast. We did a crossover episode, so Travis was on our show. We're on their show. Let's get started. Things got real. Toda.
Yo, if I were you, I'll tell you what I'd do. Yeah, I do me, but yo do you. And seize the cheese.
Oh, yeah, my other advice is to seize the cheese.
Jake and Amir gonna give it to you. You two Jews hope you through your blues, but if you're nasty, these dudes gonna put you on blast on a Monday, a Thursday, don't matter the time. All that matters is you gonna get advice from these guys. With a pitch in the mirror, the message is clear, ain't nothing to fear. Just look in the mirror, they got your back twice. If you act nice, help with your life, give you advice. If I were you, podcast show. If I were you, if I were you, if I were you, if I were you.
Okay.
All right.
That was really good. It's important to me to know right now. Hi, how's it going?
Hey.
Is Seize the Cheese something you guys have said on the show before, or did they make that up for this song?
Wow.
We
What do you
said-
think?
Oh,
I started to speak.
I want to believe that this guy just went, Seize the Cheese. It's
Yeah.
great. I love that.
It's a good song lyric.
Yeah, we said it in one of our first episodes ever,
Really?
and it stuck.
Were you talking about literal cheese, or was that like, you got to risk it for the biscuit?
You know, that's really good.
Thank you. That's Griffin's. I'm stealing that from him. You can secondarily steal it from my little brother. That's fine.
I think it was an auto auction or a police seizure auction.
Yeah, it
Where
was.
they stole
It was quite
cheese.
literally. It was about nacho cheese.
Yeah.
So it
Saying
was literal cheese.
Yes,
This is
yeah.
real life.
But then, like, since
Cheese.
then, we've gotten like Pizza Hut and like Domino's, like using that phrase to sell their product.
But we also, when people write in, they say like, "This girl, I want to ask her out. Should I seize the cheese
Yeah.
and go for it?" So
That's
people
beautiful.
definitely, yeah.
I love that.
Travis McElroy.
Oh, hello.
Just got to introduce you for anybody listening that happens to not know who you are, which is growingly hard because, as you told me less than 20 minutes ago, you host 8 podcasts?
That's correct.
Seven.
7 on the regular, 1
7 on
once
the
a
reg.
year.
And what's the biggest, most well-known podcast?
It's probably My Brother, and Me, or Adventure Zone at this point. I mean, both have hit pretty big.
Yeah.
My Brother, and Me is the one I do with my older brother Justin and my little brother Griffin, where we give advice.
Right.
Which I don't know if you guys know about advice podcasts. Have you heard of this concept? And we have
Vaguely
no idea.
familiar.
We're really bad at it, and we have no idea what we're talking about.
That sounds a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
we
you
can
guys should
relate.
try it. It's
Right.
really fun.
I don't know.
guess we'll give it a
We might
go.
give dumb advice.
It's really great. It's so easy because you don't need to know shit.
Yeah.
And you just start every episode saying, "Hey, don't do any of this." And you can say whatever the hell you want.
Yeah,
It's
I
amazing.
listen to your podcast. You guys have like a disclaimer. at the
Yeah.
beginning. We should do that because otherwise we're gonna get.
We're
We
not
have a full-
experts.
and we're serious about our disclaimer. Like people have written him like, "So I do what you guys said." I'm like, "No." No, why did you? No, we said terrible things, awful things, things that'll send you to prison.
Yeah.
Don't do the things we said. And people think we're joking when we say don't do the things.
So maybe that's one of the main differences between me and Jake. I think we try to actually give advice.
Oh no, do I have to actually give advice on this show? Oh no.
It might be that.
Oh no.
Well,
we thought it'd be fun because whenever we ask who we should have on our show, everybody's always like, "Oh, you should get the McElroy brothers from My Brother and Me. They have an advice show. Me and Jake have an advice show." So we had the brilliant idea. Jake and I would go on your guys' show. You would come on our show. Both episodes, if we play our cards right,
Yeah.
are out today.
But we let the fates decide.
Yeah.
We just roll them bones and we see what happened.
So,
I wish we were in control of it, but who knows?
If you haven't listened to My Brother and Me, there's a great chance, if we did everything correct, that an episode with Jake and I is on right now. And where can people listen to that?
You can go to, let's see, the easiest place is probably mbmbam.com, which will redirect you to MaximumFun.org, which is the network that hosts our show. Or you can go on iTunes, search My Brother and Me, and you'll find it. Or you can just Google My Brother and Me, and it'll
Awesome.
pull it up.
Yeah,
So-
we believe in you.
If you ever need some more advice podcasts in your life, everybody, please check that out.
If your problem with Jake and me have been that there's not a third one of them,
Yeah.
might I suggest My Brother and Me? There's 3 of us.
Yeah, the problem is everyone says that we're 2 Jews, and I don't think I'm not getting that vibe from you.
Yeah, and I also don't think you can rhyme 3. Let's see, 3. I can't think of a Jewish word that rhymes with 3.
3
Ani.
ani which means me in Hebrew.
3 of me. It's kind of like
Works.
3 brothers.
I'll give it to you.
How
Nice.
about this is the new My Brother and Me?
Can I tell you, your
we need
studio
3.
is far nicer than ours.
Oh, really?
I get to be in the same room with you, which almost never happens with me and my brothers.
Oh, yeah.
We've recorded 300 and when this comes out, probably like 314, 315 episodes.
Oh, I hope we're on Pi. We're episode Pi.
Oh, that would be so cool.
That'd be fun.
As of recording this, we've only ever recorded in the same room, not counting live shows, like 3 times.
Holy
crazy.
shit.
Yeah, in all those episodes.
1 in 100?
Do they? Where your
Yeah,
brothers
they're about.
live?
So Griffin is in Austin, Texas, and Justin is in Huntington, West Virginia, which is where we grew up.
Damn.
And I'm trying to, even when Griffin and I lived in Cincinnati together, like in an apartment, we'd go into separate rooms to record because we had no idea that normal people recorded in the same room. And we're just like, okay, we're ready to record, bye. And we'd shut our bedroom doors and recorded our own computers.
Interesting.
Yeah, we didn't know any better.
Damn.
It wasn't until 100 episodes later that people were like, how do you record in different cities? And we're like, what do you mean? And they're like, I don't do that. And it's like, there's nobody else.
I don't think we've
Nobody else
ever
does that?
recorded an episode of our show apart.
Yeah. So much of what we do is like talking over each other, and if there was even a slight delay, Skype or otherwise,
We've tried
I'm
to
afraid
do-
the whole thing would fall apart.
We've tried to do video before, and it was like the stupidest thing we've ever done because it was like we spent the whole time just making faces at each other, and we're like, we can't do that. I can't look at you. Gross, weird. See, if they look at me, they can see me zone out and try to think of jokes to come up with while they're talking.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to the shit they're saying. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to say next.
Yeah, or doodling while not
I'm
listening.
usually napping a little bit
Oh,
or
really?
eating some
Dozing
cereal
off.
with it muted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got to.
What's your go-to cereal?
You know, when I was young, it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but now as an older man, I like a nice, like a Crispix, like something
yeah.
where it's just
Yeah,
like
that
I
adult
feel like
shit.
an adult cereal or some kind of plain cornflake.
I wonder if they should do
Cornflake?
a single
Some
flake,
sort of
a single
cornflake, a
of
large
corn.
flake that I break up into pieces. You know, something.
I
something
wonder
nice.
if you could get or if Cinnamon Toast Crunch is ever going to be like, why don't we do the Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal without the cinnamon sugar?
Like,
I-
is that trying to
good?
make it healthy for adults?
yeah,
They
like-
I
I
think
think
they
there's
have like a
squares.
1/3 like.
Oh, they
it's
do. They
still
have
kind of
reduced
like
sugar.
thing. Do they have that where it's
Well,
like it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but like for adults?
Isn't it like it's like General Mills or whatever? Like they have a large line of. It's not
Yeah.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Isn't the cereal that's like trying to reinvent itself?
Yeah, but like I feel like they add the cinnamon sugar after.
Yeah.
They can do like.
Oh, you
oops,
just
no
want the
cinnamon
Toast
sugar.
Crunch.
That's right. I'd like toasted crunch cereal.
I will say I miss the days of my childhood where before everybody was like, let's make it healthier. Everyone went, you know what? French Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
Fuck it. And like
yeah.
everything was like, oops, all berries. And like
Yeah.
it's just a bowl
Cookie
full of
Crisp?
chocolate chips.
I know we talked about this before.
Exactly.
Fucking Cookie Crisp is just straight up cookies in a
Cookies.
bowl.
There was a cereal where they went, you know, Lucky Charms, what if we removed the cereal part and just
There
had all
was-
marshmallows?
No, was that real?
Yeah.
That
Like,
cereal hurt my teeth even as a kid.
yeah. I ate it and I was like, this isn't right. I'm 8 and I hate this.
Yeah, I'm 8 and even I'm like, this is too
No,
much.
this is diabetes.
Mom.
And so, but like, then everyone was like, now everything's whole wheat. And it's like, okay, I get that. I'm an adult now. I've got
Yeah.
a kid on the way. I'm glad that exists. But I miss the kind of like, Thunderdome, no holds barred.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of sugar shit
Fuck
can we
it.
put in our cereal?
Once
Like,
you get
we
that-
don't even like kids.
Once the kid pops out, then
Yeah.
you'll be right back in the cereal aisle with the sugary
to
cereal.
the point where there was like kicks, and everyone was like, this is all you got. If you want healthy cereal, enjoy your kicks. I guess.
the slogan for that was "Kid Tested, Mother Approved."
Yeah, it was like they might as well just like the slogan should have been like, "This is the best we could do."
yeah.
Nobody
Fine,
really
fuck it.
likes
You're not
it.
going to buy sugar. Do this one.
Fuck,
then.
enjoy your kicks,
A
idiot.
giant box. They always came in a giant box.
Yeah, to really punish you for buying
And it
it,
didn't
like you
even
got to
say-
work your way through this.
They
I
didn't say
miss
the
cereal
results
so
of the-
much right now. Pops was my shit. You guys ever had
yeah,
Pops?
corn
Yeah,
Pops.
do you remember Waffle Crisp?
Oh yeah.
Waffle Crisp, like if you ate Waffle Crisp, you could. I always felt I was like 12 and I felt like I was having a stroke because if you ate Waffle Crisp, you would smell the Waffle Crisp for days afterwards. I felt like it was like
Coming
I'm
out of
just
your
smelling your
pores.
hands and like your face and like where? Why do I still? It's like up your nose, like it just got everywhere. It was so pervasive, you could smell it.
Did Golden
everywhere.
Grams ever had marshmallows, or is that just a
No,
memory
there
I
was
made
there
up?
was a chocolate Golden Grams. Was that it? I feel like there was like it was Golden Grams and chocolate grams like mixed together
Yeah.
in a thing. There was like s'more cereal, Rice
Cereal is gonna
Krispie
be
treat cereal.
Oh yeah, I
Rice
had
Krispie
that.
treats. That was
Cereal's going to be
dope.
illegal soon, in the
Yeah.
same way that like large sodas.
Pretty
are.
soon, you
Yeah.
think someone would be like, "Why do we even make this stuff anymore?" Like, what? Oh,
In the same way,
um,
cigarettes like can't market to kids. I have a feeling like you can't have an animated tiger yelling at kids during Disney shows to eat your sugar
Right?
cereal for breakfast.
It's not okay.
It's going to be illegal. I bet within the next 7,000 years. I bet.
somewhere around there.
7,000. Yeah.
So we have emails. We have real emails from real people.
Oh, okay.
On this computer
Sorry to
machine.
interrupt. You didn't mention who wrote the song. I don't think.
Oh yeah, his name was Nick, and he's from Australia.
It's really
Nick
good.
was sitting at the edge of his seat, just thinking we were never ever going
You
to.
sons of
yeah.
bitches! I wrote you a song.
Mate.
Screaming mate over and over. Mate! Come
on, mate.
I can't.
this is
I'm not
shit.
even going to try to.
I don't have no idea how to do accents.
He said, "I hope you enjoyed listening to me failing to hide my Australian accent in a shitty rap."
I never would have guessed it.
I also never would have guessed.
I
right?
thought you did great.
It's interesting how when you sing, you don't have an accent.
Yeah, it's really hard to like.
I've got no idea what genre of music that was. By the way, it was like.
It was like R&B rap. You know,
Yeah.
it was like genuine, but
It was-
Australian.
Oh yeah, Australian genuine.
Australian genuine.
That's a very specific theme that he hit.
And I guarantee that there's somebody that if you say nationality and American pop star,
Yeah.
that person exists in that country and calls themselves that.
The
There
Australian
is someone in
Genuine.
Australia who's
Yeah.
like, I'm the Australian Genuine.
I want to meet like the Kenyan Kesha.
Oh, that's
yeah.
It's a
good.
fun alliteration.
Yeah.
fun.
What about Kenyan Lamar? So it's a
Oh, that's
Kenyan
fun.
Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, that's cool too.
Oh yeah. What about an Estonian Eminem?
So it's all about alliteration.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, like we said, this is an advice podcast. It's called If I Were You. This is actually the only advice podcast on the internet that Jake and I
yeah.
host.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
fair
we
enough.
host. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a good twist to the end
We
there.
got to give it a disclaimer.
We used to be the only advice cast hosted by brothers, and then the Vlog Brothers started a podcast,
really?
and we were like, "What? Hold on!" And they
Oh,
do an
no.
advice. No, they're great. I love them very much, and they talk about our show on there all the time. So,
Okay. Well, you say
we
the
talk
word,
about
we'll
their show.
take them out.
Well, I'll let you know if they ever overstep their bounds.
My
Right now, they
enemy's
do
enemy.
sincere advice. If they ever step into bad advice, watch out! There will be a
okay.
turf war.
And it's going to be in Cincinnati, Austin, Texas, and Huntington, West
We've got a lot of
Virginia.
different fronts going.
Yeah, you guys have 3 states. So these are real emails from real people. Travis, why don't you give me a fake man's name that we'll give this guy just to preserve his anonymity? We can refer to him as that.
Cletus Jenkins.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Did you know any? Did you actually know any Cleti?
I
growing
do. My dad actually does a radio show with a guy named Cletus. I don't know that it's his given name,
Right.
but he is a country music performer who is, he does like a comedy kind of Weird Al
Yeah.
thing for country music. Took on the name Cletus T. Judd.
up? Right. You hear
love that
Cletus a
name.
lot in like comedy, but like unless I don't know, I'm not from West Virginia. Are people actually named that?
I don't know. I've never known anyone like that where like, I was born a Cletus.
Yeah.
My given name is Cletus.
My parents looked upon me and said, a Cletus.
yeah.
A wild Cletus appears.
A Cletus fetus.
Nice.
Thank
That
you.
was good.
That was really good. Should we keep going, or is that
No, that's fine.
we can end it?
Yeah, we can just end the show there. We're not going to do any better than that.
Cletus Fetus Jenkins writes, "Hey guys, day one listener, and I've never been in a really bad situation that was interesting to write in about until now. I matched with a smoke piece dime show on Tinder,
What?
and everything was going normally. A hot lady.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
On a
thought it was
dating
like a gun or maybe some kind of drug
Oh
paraphernalia.
yeah, totally different than that.
Which would be a way more exciting Tinder match.
Matched with a hot girl on Tinder. We talked about our jobs and hobbies, and we were getting along really well. After a couple of days, the conversation finally heated up, and we started talking about sex and asking each other what we liked. Then it started getting weird. She started asking me strange things like, "Are you strong? Have you ever been in a fight?" Then she sent me the message, "If I gave you a blowjob, would you beat me up?" Sorry.
Whoa.
No. Let me say that again. If I gave you a blowjob, would you let me beat you up? Yeah. That makes more sense.
Way better.
I kind of dodged the question, and I asked her why she wanted that. And she basically said being able to beat up a big, strong guy would turn her on. For reference, I'm 6 feet and pretty muscular, and she's 5'3" and tiny and doesn't even seem very athletic. To be honest, when I think about her beating me up, it kind of turns me on. But I think that's just because she's hot. We've been having role-playing conversation where she is telling me how she'd beat me up, and she's super into it. I really do like her, and of course a blowjob sounds great, but I'm honestly scared that if I do this, then she's going to get carried away and seriously hurt me or something. I can't tell if this is just a kink or if she's legit insane. Should I do it? Love, Cletus Jenkins.
Okay, one, Cletus, she is not legit insane. This is like, yeah, legit insane is like a real thing, and this is not that.
Yeah, she's within the realm of normal.
This is completely normal.
This is a fetish, not a disorder.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is to jump way back to the very beginning of this question.
Oh, back to the cereal?
Yeah, back to the cereal. Can we talk about that intro song for a second? I was never I met my wife and have been with her since long before like Tinder or anything was a
so
thing.
You're pre-Tinder, pre-apps.
I was, yeah. So like I met my wife in like 2008. I want to say 2009. We've been together for like, you know, going on 7-8 years now.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Hey, thanks. We're pretty great. And so, but even like I remember when like AOL Instant Messenger started being a thing.
Oh, yeah.
And like I was instantly wary and didn't believe anybody who was
Boss.
like, I am a girl and I think you're nice. And I'd be like, well, I've fallen for that before
Yeah.
in the conversation. So already.
You
I
still
thi-
think your wife is catfishing?
I don't
right?
trust her.
Yeah.
I don't trust her one bit. What's she after? But here's the thing. I'm confused by what the issue is here. If she wants to beat you up and she thinks that would turn her on, and the idea of her beating you up kind of turns you on, it seems win-win. I don't... It's like, unless... she has like secret like Krav Maga training where she's gonna like
She's hustling you.
yeah,
like
where
in
it's
White
like
Man
she
Can't Jump.
seems like not that like brutal, but like
Yeah.
when you really get down to it, she's going to just destroy you.
Like when you lose at pool for a game, you're like, all right, you want to start playing for
Yeah.
money, and then you turn it on.
she is unless
so-
she's hustling you.
He's gonna be like, "All right, hit me as hard as you can," and like stick his face out, and then she's gonna knee him in the groin.
Yeah.
like palmed.
She's
palm
just
to
gonna
the nose.
Bruce Lee the shit out of him and
Yeah.
like water
Brass
in a bowl and
knuckles.
just he goes flying backwards through a brick wall. Or
Roundhouse
something.
kick to the temple, and he's instantly dead.
You said it was okay. You promised me it was fine.
It does seem like that's his big fear. Like he's down to wrestle a little bit, but
Yeah.
he's like, I don't want this to get out of hand.
But the thing is like this isn't the first time anyone's dealt with this problem. That's why safe words exist.
Oh yeah.
Is that you say like the safe word is Nilla wafer or whatever, and then like she
words,
punches
but
you
yeah.
super hard, and you're like Nilla wafer, Nilla wafer,
As she's,
Banana pudding.
as she's
Oh, wait,
walking
what was
towards him, Nilla wafer,
Nilla wafer, Nilla
oh!
wafer. I gotta go. She starts putting on just like gloves coated in like broken glass, and you're like Nilla wafer, Nilla wafer.
wafer.
No.
What flavor? I forget.
Oh fuck, and then you're dead. But I think the problem is like this is not a sustainable fetish. That this is like you're not going to form a relationship based on her giving you a blowjob and then beating you up every time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like because like that happens once, but for the next time she's like, hey, do you want a blowjob? And you're like, ah.
And then you start like having a Pavlovian response where you start fearing blowjobs.
Yeah.
because you know
Ooh.
what happens after
You
the
start
blows.
flinching.
From blows to blows. That's what they call it.
But like you're
That's
not
good,
going to
man.
end up in like a committed relationship with someone who, in order to be sexually engaged with you, has to beat you up.
Yeah, what an exchange rate that is.
Yeah, and also for her to like, it sounds like they've never done anything sexual before. So to want to start there,
Sounds like they haven't even met yet.
right? So like, it should be like we met, we had sex, and we've been like seeing each other for a couple weeks, and then she proposed this deal.
I feel like the question he has to ask is like, does she really need to? Like when I play with my little cousins and I'm like
And you
high
beat them
five,
up?
way up high, way down low, and they like, and I do you're too slow, and they like catch me or whatever, and I'm like, oh, you got me. Like I could actually, I'm pretty fast.
Oh, I see.
I
don't know what you
throw-
guys have heard, but
There was
he
that-
could get away
There
from
was
it.
that one time where it looked like he legit clipped your
No,
finger.
no fucking
Yeah.
chance.
No. Go to the replay.
And
we'll
then
watch it.
when you had his nose that one time and he didn't buy it, it
Yeah.
seems like he knew that you didn't really have his
Right,
nose.
and then there was that time when he had my nose, and
That- I thought
I like,
legit
and I
was real.
acted, but I wasn't acting entirely.
Yeah.
I legit looked in the mirror just really quick,
just to make sure that he didn't have your nose.
It's still,
Whew.
all right,
I know
it's your
you're
fucking
kidding.
thumb, bro.
Please don't
I
swear
know.
in front of
I
a
never
child.
fell for it for a second. It sounds like if this is a one-off deal, I'd do it. You
You would
know,
do it.
because like I thought you were gonna say like that she wanted you to like beat up her husband or something. Like, how big and strong are you? Could you
Yeah.
come beat up my husband?
yeah,
Like,
that's dangerous. That's-
no.
yeah.
But just like this sounds like she's looking for kind of a one-off experience, and if you're like considering it, maybe you're down for the same thing.
Would you be down? Would you be down to get beat up?
You know, no.
5'3" is like not like a tiny 5-year-old. That's like a fully grown adult human.
I just feel like there are a lot more questions to ask. Like I would be interested in like wrestling or something and letting somebody pin me. But if the fetish is legit, she wants to like kick
Punch you in
and
the
punch
face.
me till I'm in
Yeah,
a lot
right?
of pain.
Yeah.
Then I think no, I can get a blowjob another place.
Yeah.
They're not blowjobs are like they're rare, but they're not.
Yeah, but this girl's really hot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's still. I feel confident that I could get a blowjob from an attractive person.
You know, I'm going to go with I would not do it, but to be fair, Cletus does say like the idea of it kind of like he's into it too.
true.
Yeah.
So like, hey, like don't judge her if you're like, no, I'm also kind of into the idea. Like, oh man.
I'd fear that I'd snap into like a self-defense mode, and it's like that's when it becomes like a bad situation.
Oh,
Like
you'd be like Jason Bourne, and
Yeah.
like, I was
like they'd
threatened.
slap me, and then I would slap her back, and she's like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Whoa, sorry, I don't know what happened."
The blood just came in my eyes. And I
Yeah.
saw red. I couldn't help
Holy
it.
shit! I have Navy SEAL training.
like I've been tickled before, and when I'm wriggling to get away, I've like hit someone, and then I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." It was like such a fun, silly moment, and then I hit somebody by accident.
When I took a stage combat class in college and like we were practicing like, the naps.
Oh, yeah.
And my teacher came by and like that word of like warning, grabbed my like wrist and held my fist up and said completely seriously, I want everyone to look at this. Travis has fists of iron. If he were to ever accidentally punch someone, he would kill them.
Wow.
I was like, what? Like, one, I don't. Like, when I was 21 and this happened, I was like, oh, the power. But now at, 32, I'm like, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I've never been in a serious fight in my life. I don't even know how to really punch that good. I guarantee I would not one shot kill someone with my punch. But at 21, I was like, I have to be careful.
I bet you can
must
fucking-
never
These are
punch
weapons.
someone.
Maybe not kill, but I bet you can concuss a cat with those. Like you have very thick hands.
I
bet you
could
can
concuss
really-
a cat.
I think you
I've
can-
killed cats
Imagine
before.
if you boxed a cat. Yeah, I killed
Yeah.
a cat once too by accident.
I killed a mouse on purpose.
I
was
didn't.
like,
I didn't
wait,
feed it for a week by accident, though.
I was cat sitting.
That is true. Like, here's the thing, man. Like, the human body is not nearly as resilient as we think it is, especially depending on how old Cletus is.
Yeah.
If this girl punches him wrong in the nose, he could die.
Yeah.
That's a very real possibility. Like, if she punches you in the temple too hard, you could die. I don't know that this is worth it.
Yeah.
I like what you said about a safe word. I feel like having a safe word is a good start.
The problem is if she pays up front with a blowjob and then you get hit once and you're like, Nilla Waver, and she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like you got off and I really did.
Yeah.
I punched you once. You'd have to set up, you get at least 6 punches, and then if I want to institute the safe word,
Right.
you got a lot to work out before you engage in this.
Yeah,
I feel
you guys have to sign a contract. She also said that they did role playing, over text, right?
Right.
So maybe that's a good indicator of how serious she wants.
And then I stab you. Okay,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. If it's hits to my back or shoulder, I can handle a lot. If it's she wants me to expose my face while she punches and slaps and kicks my balls, I can't take that.
No.
very much.
Not worth it.
balls and face are off limits.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair rule.
Same as growing up fighting with brothers. No balls, no face. Come on, be cool.
Did you guys beat each other up? Were
We
you
did
just-
a lot, but
Oh,
never
really?
punched in the face or balls. That was
really?
always whoops, I'm sorry, we're done. The fight's done.
Don't tell mom. Don't tell mom. No.
By the
it's
time we got
okay.
to Griffin, we would just pick him up.
Yeah.
Because Jocelyn and I fought crazy.
What's the age difference between you guys?
Jocelyn and I are exactly 3 years apart. We have the same birthday, 3 years apart.
Same birthday?
Same birthday, November
But
8th.
you're middle, right?
Yes, and then Griffin is about 3.5 years younger than me. So
Oh, so it's 333.
That's like
Cool.
you and your brothers, isn't it?
Yeah, we're 444,
excellent.
but I'm the youngest.
How's that? It's nice, right?
Yeah, it feels
I
right.
imagine it is.
Yeah.
I only knew for 3 years. I wasn't able to fully appreciate it.
An interesting thing about your birthday, 11/8, is that it's kind of my birthday, which is 1/18.
Okay, we'll count
moving
it.
on. So we got another email here. Another guy's name?
Let's go with Orion Jones.
That's great.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's a strong name.
He's a superhero detective.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah, I did.
That's really good.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah. God, Orion Jones.
Orion Jones, attorney at law, writes, last winter, I went on a poorly planned canoe trip in a remote location. One member of the group, let's call him Sinead, had never been on a canoe before. We only made it a couple hundred meters up the river before he managed to tip the canoe, sending us into the ice-cold water. We had to turn back right away, get into our cars, and warm up not to die of hypothermia. We're planning to attempt the trip again this summer. How do I tell Sinead we don't want him to come this time? He's Indian, like from India. Not the kind that knows how to canoe, obviously.
Cool. cool. Orion.
thanks.
Come on.
Ryan.
Racist at the end. I was on your side. for a minute.
Orion.
He was just saying, if it helps
Okay.
color the story.
It did help
guess.
color the story. He, said,
Yeah, you did.
he implied that all Native Americans should know how to canoe.
I also did not need to know the ethnicity of the person who tipped a canoe over to be like, oh, he's Indian. Of course. If there's one thing I know about India, it's their tipping canoe ability.
Yeah, tip a canoe.
And Tyler, too.
Nice dude. Isn't he from West Virginia?
No.
Has any president ever been from West
No.
Virginia? What's from West Virginia? What is it?
Me. Cole.
Who's the biggest name from West Virginia?
Oh, man. It's a
Kevin
good question.
Pittsnoggle?
Is it Kevin Pittsnoggle?
I don't know who that is.
West Virginia Mountaineer?
The Mountaineers at Marshall University is pretty big. We made a movie there
Oh,
called
Randy
We Are
Moss. Is
Marshall.
he from?
Yeah, Randy Moss is from Huntington. Chad Pennington.
Oh, those are
is
pretty
from
big
Huntington.
names.
Well, he went to Marshall. I don't know if he's from Huntington.
Right.
Soupy Sales is from Huntington.
Soupy Sales.
Brad Dourif is from Huntington.
Who?
You're more famous
Have you
than
seen
that.
Dune? No.
I should
Have
be
you
from
seen Dune?
Huntington.
You've
Dune?
seen Dune?
No.
Yeah. Oh, he's in that. Anyways, doesn't
You're more
matter.
famous than that guy.
There's not a ton. We don't have a ton of
You guys
people.
could be in the Wikipedia page. For
I think we are
notable-
maybe one of the. We're in the top 100.
That's great.
Most famous people ever.
the Huntington 100. They call it.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Very elite.
It's you, Randy Moss, your two brothers,
Well, they're still filling out the rest.
Cletus.
Their wives.
Yeah, our wives are up there. We all do podcasts with them.
Ever been on a trip where you didn't want to invite somebody?
You know, I am at times overly inclusive. I
Too much
like,
so.
Yeah, if I'm gonna throw a thing and it's like when we had our wedding, they were like, we can fit 100, at most 120, and I was like, I want to invite 150 people, and I did, and thank God, like I invited most people knowing they couldn't come.
Yeah.
So we ended up like getting down to the 100 number after RSVPs were in, but like it was driving me crazy to like. I was like, but this one guy that I was friends with when we were 9, he'd be
Right.
so hurt if I didn't invite him. My wife was like, he doesn't care? You don't know? What are you arguing about? And I was like, no, this is important.
What
Here's
about
the
bachelor
thing.
party? That's an even bit smaller.
Yeah,
list.
okay, bachelor party is a good bet. But the thing is it's been a year, right? They said it was in winter. It's been like at least 6-7 months, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think you need to tell him.
Oh, you just don't say anything.
Yeah, you just go. And they're like, oh, I didn't even think, like...
With social media, he'll find
He'll
out.
find
Someone's
out.
gonna.
Yeah.
Especially if he's part of the
Snap
crew.
it.
But here's the thing. The question is it better to find out afterwards and let him assume things, or just straight up tell him to his face, we don't want you to be there?
One thing is definitely harder.
Yeah.
Here's
There's a bit of I'm not saying it's better, but there's a bit of like a social understanding of like you going like, oh, so, like we didn't even think,
Yeah,
like, because we know you're not super interested in canoeing, and
Because remember, didn't you tip the canoe
we honestly
last
just
time?
didn't think about it. And obviously you're lying, and they know you're lying, and you know they know you're lying.
I think that
but,
would
like,
work
Is this
if they
type of
didn't
thing
already
like
tip
just
the
the
canoe.
millennial like language that we all speak?
Which is what?
Just like a sort of a passive apology, like excuse after the fact.
I think so.
Oh,
very
like
much so.
or I'm gonna try to come by. Oh yeah, I'll try to make it.
It feels
Oh,
like
very much so.
everybody,
Yeah.
in the, like my parents and my grandparents' generation, was like very blunt and told you how it was.
Yeah.
You know, Aziz Ansari has a great bit about that in his stand-up special, Modern Love. I think
What kind
it's
of Indian is he?
I think he's the kind that doesn't know how to paddle a canoe.
He's the
He's the tip of canoe
guy.
kind. But where he talks about, like, back in the day, like, if you made plans with someone and you went, like, you were away from your phone. So either they showed up or you assumed they were dead.
Oh,
and
right.
nowadays, it's like right up until 30 seconds before they're supposed to be there, they can text you and be like, can't make it. And you're like, fuck, I'm standing here. Like, and you're constantly like, scrolling through your phone looking for things to do. I mean, I'm guilty of this too, of going through. I'm like, anybody doing anything? As I've made plans with someone that I want to cancel.
Even like the way, like when I say I can't do something, it's like my friend's like, "Hey, do you want to come over for dinner?" I'll go, maybe not," which
Yeah.
means no. But like maybe
Ask me
supposed
tomorrow
to mean 50-50.
on the day. I don't
Maybe
know.
technically means I could come, but I'm
Yeah.
saying maybe not instead of no. Because it just feels rude when he's like, "You want to get dinner?" and I say no.
I think that if you're planning,
You have to have a reason that you can't. But
Yeah.
you have. Sometimes you just don't
that's why
want
I'm looking forward to having a kid. Kids can be the best excuse to get me out of shit now. I'm already using it with my wife pregnant, where like we get to a party, we're there for an hour, and it's time to leave. I'm like, she's really pregnant.
Yeah.
So I don't.
At what point do you
we
start
can't.
texting the kid? Like, hey, I'm not going to make the baseball game.
Not going to be at a baseball game. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm
Yeah.
just napping.
Maybe not.
I'm going to try to come through.
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted.
There's
Let me know how it
a
goes.
marathon of Star Wars movies that can't make it. I think that if how far out in advance did they say they were planning this?
Planning to attempt the trip again this summer.
If you're
is
far
what-
enough out, I think you could say, "Hey, we're doing this thing. Last time you ruined it,
You tip the canoe, dude.
but we want you to go because we like you. But we need you to go take some canoe lessons and not fuck it up again."
Or
By
just
the way,
not.
it's summer now. Like
Yeah.
there was a real risk when they fell in the ice cold
True.
water. If he falls in the summery water, that's kind of fine.
Go kayaking instead. It's way harder to tip a kayak.
Oh yeah, I don't even know the difference.
So canoe, as I understand, I'm not an expert, but a canoe sits lower in the water and is straighter sides, and a kayak kind of like you get in and it's
like a
kind of
banana.
curved up, and it's a lot easier. Like it sits higher in the water. It's easier to maneuver. I've gone kayaking before. I've only canoed once in my life. And a kayak, like, you roll up and they're just like, here's your kayak, here's your paddle, here's your vest, don't die. And it's like, it's really easy not to fuck up. It's exhausting. It's really hard. But
works the triceps.
yeah, man, and your chest. Like, if you're not prepared, you will die.
So our advice is invite your friend, but switch it from a canoe to a kayak.
And maybe tell them to practice some. Go to the gym, do some rowing exercises, do something.
It's
like,
crew canoe or kayaking?
I think it's canoeing. Oh, shit.
That's why they call it crew.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot they called it that.
But here's the thing. Your friend fucked up this canoe trip last time. I think you're well within your rights. Like, hey, we're going on this thing. I want you to know ahead of time.
Last time.
You fucked it up
last time we could have died because of you. So this time we're going to do the thing where we don't invite you.
And then when we come back, if you want to go to an arcade or whatever you're good at, we'll go do that.
Well, like, if this guy really, really is adamant, like, no, I want to come on the canoe trip, then I think if you get him a boat they can't tip over. You get him a little.
Give him a really embarrassing, like, shape like a swan, and he's got to, like, run his feet to paddle at the whole way.
A donut floaty.
Yeah, and he's got to sit by himself. Like, he gets a
tie him to the
kayak.
back. You tie it to the back of the kayak. He's wearing a donut floaty, like that cartoon.
That's great.
duck.
You could chill. You could drink a beer. You do your thing. Float down the lazy river.
Yeah.
And, I will say a similar thing happened to me. Me and my older brother and some of his friends, one of whom his family had like a whitewater rafting business about an hour north of Huntington. They were like, hey, we're going whitewater rafting. And so I went with them. I think I was like 19 at the time. And there were lots of instructions that we received, one of which was, like, if we hit rapids, don't stop paddling unless we tell you to.
Right.
And we hit a big rapid, and it, like, bounces up almost, like, at a 90-degree angle to the water. And so I immediately, like, ducked down in the boat. I was like, fuck this.
I don't want to die.
Yeah, and so when I came back up, like, there were 8 of us in the boat originally. When we landed, there were 3 of us left in the boat, and the other 5 were just, like, floating around.
And the 3 cowards were the ones that survived.
Yeah.
Because you're holding on instead of paddling.
And so if after that, my brother had been like, hey, you're not going whitewater rafting with us anymore. You're
so
terrible
funny.
at it. I would be like, I totally get
It's like
that. I hated every second. It's possible your friend hated it.
It's like a prisoner's dilemma. You can either hold the boat and survive or paddle and try to fall out, but try saving everyone. So it's like
I'm always
3
going to
people
duck down
being
the boat.
like, "Ah!"
I'm the most important everywhere I go.
If you land and you're in the boat, you should immediately just jump out and pretend that you
If
fell
right
out,
now
too.
this whole studio tipped over, I'd let you guys go. I wouldn't even try to help you.
Yeah, I would just, you hold on, you survive, and then you fall out, and you're like, you bastards,
Yeah.
you didn't paddle.
Yeah, you come with like, well, I was the whole time. I don't know what
I
you guys talking
I
about.
paddled extra hard. That's why I stayed on.
Yeah. Oh, were you guys not paddling hard enough? Oh, shame. This.
All right, let's take a break. We'll thank a few sponsors, and we'll be back with more advice giving after this.
Thank you as well to Blue Apron for sponsoring this episode.
Yes, you are a delicious delight.
Toda Blue Apron. What is Blue Apron? Well, basically, it's hard to go to the grocery store and buy the ingredients you need to create dishes you didn't even know you wanted, come back with the correct proportions, and figure out how to make those things. So, Blue Apron said, let's make it simple. Let's make it easy. They create new recipes that are created weekly and are not repeated within a year. They customize recipes based on your preferences, and then each meal comes delivered to you with step-by-step, easy-to-follow recipe card and pre-portioned ingredients that can be prepared in 40 minutes or less.
That's right. When I started Blue Apron, what I really wanted was to connect with people who felt like cooking was tough, and I wanted to show them how easy it could be. So that's why I started Blue Apron.
That's right. And just as an example of what you can make, spiced pork burgers with goat cheese, summer vegetable and quinoa bowl, chicken tinga tacos, things that you wouldn't necessarily even think to make. And Blue Apron makes sure the beef is raised humanely, the chickens are free range, the pork is raised naturally, everything is as healthy as possible, and it can be delivered to 99% of the continental U.S.
Yeah, that's another thing that I felt was very important when I began Blue Apron.
Oh, you're saying began, like when you started Blue Apron, like you were the head of the company.
I thought you were letting me run with it.
Oh, I thought you were saying when I began my Blue Apron subscription.
No. I started Blue Apron.
But you're doing this podcast in addition to that.
When I launched, I cultivated, I came up with the idea.
Got it. Okay.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay. Well, if you haven't created...
You don't believe me.
Of course not.
Wow.
You can check this week's menu and get your first 3 meals That's 3 meals free.
That was another important thing when I began Blue
Oh,
Apron.
dear God. With free shipping, just go to blueapron.com/ifIwereYou. You'll love how good it feels. You'll love how good it tastes. And you'll love the ability to cook food for maybe the first time.
You're welcome.
That's blueapron.com/ifIwereYou. It's a great gift for yourself. If you live with someone, if you don't want to eat out as much anymore, if you and your roommates want activities, it's so simple. Even Jake and I were making shit.
I really appreciate all the kind words about my company, man.
Blue Apron, a better way to cook. Toda as well to squarespace.com for sponsoring this episode. Guys, this is just chock full of our old personal favorites. I'm sure you know what Squarespace does already. They're all over the place. Millions of people trust them already. But just in case you haven't ever listened to a podcast before, do you want to explain what Squarespace does, what it is?
Yeah, building websites is not very easy. It's a pain and it's a chore, and you have to be very smart to do it. So a bunch of smart people that knew how to do it decided to make it simple.
Was that you too?
I didn't come up with this one. I did invest heavily in it. I funded it.
Before me, it was just like a round space, and I was like, I'll give you cash, but I really should be at Squarespace. I'm serious, dudes.
That's right.
So if you ever need to make a website for yourself or an online store for a loved one, perhaps a blog or a portfolio, you do have to make one of those things, but you don't know how. Well, now you do. It's squarespace.com. It's easy. There's beautiful templates, seamless tools, customer support, 24/7 customer support, and a free custom domain. They'll give you a free domain name if you sign up for a year. That's a free domain name if you use their product for a year. I know what you're thinking. All the good domain names are taken.
That's not true. We found 2 of them.
That's right. Every time we advertise Squarespace, we provide to you guys free of charge just a little bonus sauce, 2 available .com domains at the time of recording. So it's Sunday right here on July 31st. Available to you free of charge if you get Squarespace for a year is peasty.com. Peasty.com. Peasty.
And that's like if your peas are tasty.
No, that's like more like it's almost like a site that you just need a fun 6-letter domain that doesn't really mean anything. So it can be like the name of
recipes.
Oh, peasty. Oh yeah, easy peasty. Like make things peasty. So if you want to create a word, that's also an available domain.
I'm really surprised this one's not taken, actually, buddy.
Yeah.
Peasty.
Peasty.
And mine is Swan Boner.
Say that again.
Swan Boner.
So just so I have it in my mind fresh as a daisy.
I feel like I shouldn't have to say it a third time, but it's Swan Boner.
And that's a .com.
Yeah, swanboner.com.
And that's about, what is that?
When swans get boners.
Got it. Okay,
If you
I
have
thought
a
it.
website
Yeah,
or
no,
a blog
yeah.
or a
I thought it
Tumblr
meant
about
something
that.
else. I thought I was going to give you credit, and like maybe it actually doesn't mean the boner of a swan.
Yeah, I don't know if swans have penises. I assume they do.
I'll look on swanboner.com tomorrow and check it out. So start your free trial today, or whenever you want to build your website at squarespace.com, and enter the offer code IfIwereYou to get 10% off your first purchase. That way they know we sent you and we look good to them. So go to squarespace.com and enter offer code IfIwereYou to get 10% off your first purchase. Hell yeah, Squarespace. Set your website apart.
Hell yeah, baby.
Let's get back to the episode.
Hey, we're back.
We did it.
How do these questions compare to the ones that are in your show?
You know, they're longer. I am the one who goes through the questions for my brother, and me. And
Is it email too?
Yeah, and we get a lot at this point. And the tricky thing is, like, we don't want to give real advice, and so many people ask for real advice, and it's like, that's not funny.
Yeah,
so
you're just sad. You should
yeah,
talk to
sometimes
someone.
we get out like. You know, we pride ourselves on like we've built a very strong like community and relationship with our listeners, and so sometimes like people like really need help and really want us to help, and it's like, yeah, we can't. Not only are we not prepared to, like, that's not what the show, and it always feels a little bit like gut wrenching. That it's like, I really want to help you, but I can't.
And then, what percentage of questions do you get are relationship questions?
92.
Yeah.
That's really what people
it's-
have the most problems with. huh?
It's the most confusing thing because everything
It's-
else is about you. And
Yeah.
then, like, how do I deal with somebody else? That's the confusing part.
Well, the
of
thing
life.
is, we get relationship, best friend / roommate questions.
Oh, yeah.
And office. Like, I hate my coworker
This
or
person
my boss
smells.
is terrible. Like, those 3 types of questions make up about 95%.
Right. And then there's some silly fun ones. Like
yeah,
canoe
we
trips.
did 1 week, like, just like, I think it was like all roommate questions.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were like,
Themed
after
episodes.
that week, please don't ask us any more roommate questions for a year. And that didn't go well. But like, that's the thing is like, we get, I would say at this point about 400 questions a week.
Holy shit.
And we do maybe 4. And
Yeah.
like I put 6 on the list and we get to 4.
Yeah. It's
And
very
so it's
similar to
like,
us.
it takes about 3 hours to go through all of them once a week and then to pick the ones that I'm like, I think this will be
Yeah.
okay.
Well written, funny.
And short. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing is we're usually looking for like 2 or 3 sentences.
Oh, 2 or 3 sentences.
Yeah, well, because the thing is like people always try to like fill in all these details, and it's
Right.
like, oh no, that's too specific, and that's not funny.
Do you ever
like,
edit?
what?
Do you edit?
Not really.
questions?
I mean, I used to.
Right.
When we first started out, I would be like, oh, this is a really good question, but it's like 5 paragraphs long. And then I was like, we get so many questions now that I don't have to add. And we've also said on the show, like, keep them short.
Right.
If you want them on the show, we're looking for like 2 to 3 sentences. And then like someone will send like an 8-paragraph thing. It's like, I told you specifically
I
not
warned
to
you
do
about this.
So now I just like buzz past those.
Right.
You know? So these are good. To answer your question, these questions are
Okay,
good.
great. I was just looking for validation.
Yeah.
You guys are great. I'm having a great time.
We haven't had any. I feel like the influx of Pokemon Go questions will start soon.
Yeah. Oh, very much so. We're already getting those on all my other shows.
Are all 3 of you playing?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely am.
Yeah.
Not obsessively yet, but it's a really good time killer when you're like, especially in LA, sometimes you got to park like a half a mile away from the place you're actually trying to get to.
You might as well kill some
Yeah,
Pokemon.
so just like walking
you don't
through.
kill
gives you
them.
a thing to do. No, you catch them. You got to catch them all. It's not you got to murder them all.
But then what do you do after you catch them?
Like you raise them like your babies.
Oh, really? Once you have them, you do things to them?
Yeah.
You don't do things.
It's not weird.
You
You know
either
what?
want,
It's
you
not
either want to
weird.
kill them or have sex with them.
I want to
and
fuck a little Charizard.
Well, you can do that too, but you got to pay extra for that expansion.
So you're walking around, you're collecting the
Yeah,
things.
you're collecting them, and then there's like gyms, and like you can rename.
Oh, yeah, what's a gym?
So basically, a gym is like a really usually it's someplace that's like super popular in
Like
the real
Central
world.
Park?
Yeah, exactly. And then you would go, and you somebody is like basically they have established that they own the gym, and you have to like defeat their Pokemon to like take control of the gym.
Oh,
so
and you
there
can
is
only do that if you have all of the best Pokemon.
Yeah, so you got to like raise your Pokemon and make them stronger so you can compete in the gyms.
How do you make Pokemon stronger?
Oh God, it's so dorky.
If you spend some money on the food packs, then you can feed them. until they
basically,
become
every time
stronger.
you catch a Pokemon, you gain Stardust and Pokemon candy of that specific type. And then you can feed them some candy, and I guess sprinkle
Candy
Stardust
makes
on
you
them.
grow
And it
strong.
makes them stronger. Listen, I know it's dumb. As I like, this is like the 5th time in 2 days that I've had to explain it, and like you get halfway through the first sentence before like, listen, I know how this. It sounds like it's how I felt every time I've ever explained like a fantasy novel I love a lot. Where I'm like, so there are these elves.
Yeah, is it any dumber than like somebody when I overhear people talking about Game of Thrones? And
No,
like, did you
It's not.
see?
It's not any dumber than like basketball.
That's the
on
thing.
its face.
dude.
No.
Fuck that.
Oh yeah, we run and we try to shoot the hoop.
No, hear me out. Like,
Yeah.
I love sports very much, but if you've ever tried to explain sports to someone who's not at all like football, is a great. I love football, but like when you try to explain like why they did the play and what the action was, and you watch someone just go and just like shut off, you're like, okay, he threw it, he caught it, it was good, and it's like, oh, okay, great, thank you so much.
I got that.
That's how I feel explaining Pokemon Go to people, like at any video game, where it's like my wife has never been a video game player. Like she used to play WoW, and she's played like D&D and everything, but she just doesn't play video games. But she loves watching me play them until I try to explain what I'm doing to her, and she's like, I don't care. Like she watches Skyrim, and she's like,
Oh yeah, those are. I also prefer watching people that.
oh, it's
playing.
great because especially those ones where it's like really immersive. Where like she knows Skyrim is like the game where I'm the lizard person with the wife in a house, and she's like, "How's your wife doing?" I was like, "She doesn't exist when I'm not there," and she's like, "She probably misses you," and I'm like, "Okay, honey," and like, so I'll make a trip to go visit my wife in my house in Whitehaven, and it's like, so like that's fun, and you don't really get that in Pokemon Go. Like, there's nothing in Pokemon Go that makes it cool. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
You can't be like, the graphics. I mean, the coolest thing is like pointing your camera at a thing and seeing like a Pidgey sitting on your desk. Like, it's a good evolution of video games.
Two questions.
Yes.
One, can you win?
You can be the very best, like no one ever was. But to catch them is your real test, and to train them is your cause.
Is this a theme song?
It is. It is, in fact, to the cartoon.
To train them is your cause.
Yeah. Because there are no better causes to fight for in the world right now. Except training your Pokemon. No, it's dumb. That's the thing. It's dumb. Just like Pokemon was dumb, like all of them have been dumb, and anybody sitting there listening going, well, hold on. No, it's dumb, and that's okay. Like, it's okay for things to be dumb and fun, and they are, like mobile gaming is supposed to be. It's just dumb. Like, so, like, it's a thing you do to, like, kill time between and to, like, get out of the house and go do a thing. And anyone who sits there and is like, let me tell you how cool it is, it's like, no. You are wrong.
It's not stupid.
I love it very much, and it's very dumb. And so there's like all these like reporters are killing me right now because like legit media like wants to talk about how stupid Pokemon is. I'm just going, yeah, like. You're absolutely right. I don't know. Like,
what's the story?
You ever play Pong, man? Pong is dumb. Are you kidding me? Like, that shit was dumb. Right. But, like, it's fun.
Most games are kind of dumb.
Yeah,
just
right.
enjoyable.
It's dumb. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it's not like breaking news like, oh, this game isn't intelligent.
Yeah. That's fine, man.
It's not a math
cool.
test. And my second question is, this came out of left field for me. If you're a gamer, did you know that this was coming for a while? Was this hotly anticipated?
They've been talking about it for a long time. So long, in fact, that I think people kind of, like, lost interest in it.
Oh, okay.
Because this is, like, years, as far as I know, that this has been in development and talked about.
Got it.
And then it was just like, it's done now, here. And it was like, oh, cool, great.
Oh, like they weren't like, it's coming Tuesday.
Well, I think they're doing like a slow release of things. Like, it's still not available in Asia. It's still not available in Europe, as far as I
interesting.
know.
Oh, wow.
It might be by the time that this comes out, but like at time of recording, I don't believe it is.
I wonder if it'll help tourism.
I mean,
like
probably.
if there was a Pokemon that's only in Spain, wouldn't a bunch of doofs want to go there?
I mean, they do that specifically, where it's like if you get, so for example, like water type, you only find around water sources in real life. And so, and it's like, if you want specific type of Pokemon, you got to go to, in fact, there have been people jokingly asking about, like on Twitter, like, hey, they should put rare Pokemon at polling places in November. And it's like, yeah, dog, they should. That's an excellent point.
I can already see the South Park episode about this where they're like, it's a factory of people working, but they're actually just playing Pokemon Go, so they don't have to pay them anything.
Yeah, it's dorky. I get it. And
but
you know what?
It's trending towards like a dystopian thing.
Very much. And you know, it's so easy to make fun of. It's because it's like it basically the parody's right itself of somebody like walking to a pit while they're looking in their phone. I get that, but it's
that's
just,
great. Let me write that down.
The thing is like we live in a world, we live in a culture and a society right now. I can't speak for other like countries, but like where it's so easy to make fun of things that are fun but dumb.
Yeah,
where it's like, yeah, man, like I know, like it's fun. It's like people who hate on like My Little Pony or that kind of thing, like. Yeah, this doesn't affect your life whatsoever. You're just being snarky and making fun of something someone enjoys.
Right.
It's okay for people to like things without them being like Rembrandts and like the Beatles. Like, it's okay.
Did they say that about like trains in the 50s? Like, look at this miniature train. What a waste of time.
It's all been that shit where it's like, Monopoly, it'll never catch on. It's like, it's fine, man. It's cool. Computers, this is dumb. Who's ever heard of role-playing games? And it's like, I did. Yeah, there's just all this shit where it's just like, yeah, and you know what? It's fine.
Yeah.
Me playing Pokemon Go doesn't affect your life at all. Don't worry about it.
Unless you bump into someone. Because
and then they should punch me in the nose.
I bet data rates are going to go up too.
Oh, most
just like walking around.
It kills your battery. Like, it destroys your battery.
That's why you have 9 Mophis.
Yeah, I've got my Mophie plugged in right now so I can get it charged back so I can, on my walk back to my car.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
You have an external battery pack, 2 Mophis, a computer, and you brought an iMac just to charge your other Mophie.
And I also have my gas generator sitting outside of the building. So I'm all set.
All right. Do you want to be able to answer one last question before you get the heck out of here?
Sure.
Great.
I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, I'm not leaving at all.
I live here now.
That's
great.
It's
very nice.
Yeah, I mean, you're in L.A., so you might as well use our studio whenever the heck you want.
Well, I have you on record saying that. You all heard it. Yeah. That's legally binding.
I only say that because I know you're moving out of Los Angeles.
That's fair.
Where are you moving?
Fair. I'm moving back to Cincinnati with the baby on the way. Like, my family's about 2 hours from Cincinnati, and Teresa's family is about an hour away from Cincinnati. And we were only ever planning to stay in LA for like 2 years to like feel it out and be like, hey, and I podcast full time, so I can do it from anywhere.
It's fucking what a future. You
Yeah.
can live anywhere you want. Does
Yeah.
your wife, is her job mobile too?
She doesn't like. We both just do podcasts, and our job is being on the internet. It's super fun. I highly
dude?
recommend it. Everyone should do it.
Yeah.
We could live anywhere we want. You choose to live in this fucking hellhole that hasn't seen water in 10 years.
It's true.
Jesus.
It's becoming the planet Arrakis from the movie and book Dune.
Right.
See, not a drop of rain ever falls on Arrakis. Let me tell you guys a little bit about Dune, as long as we're talking about dorky shit. So there's this guy, Paul Atreides.
We're at the 4
also
hour
known as
mark.
Muad'Dib.
We really have to.
Oh, okay.
You told him he could live in the studio.
I didn't.
I'll
mean
come
it.
back every episode and tell you a little bit about Dune each
This
time.
door
I'll
is
just
locked.
slowly
We
leak
can't get out.
Yeah. 2 sentences of Dune every episode. All right. There's a question. It's actually from a middle-aged man.
Okay.
Wait.
The other two could have been too.
That's
Oh,
true.
I need to
This
give you a
one's-
name, don't
Yeah,
I?
a name that's specifically middle-aged.
I like the idea of a racist middle-aged man going on a canoe trip with his friend.
I secretly hate my Indian friend. Let's go with Charizard. Charizard. I need a good last name. No, Eli Charizard.
Oh, that's
We'll go
good.
with
Charizard was the ultimate last name.
Yeah.
You couldn't top it.
He's Jewish. I like that. Mm-hmm. Moved in with my girlfriend, and our once glorious sex life has dwindled into a luxury so rare that every blue moon it happens, I feel like a 14th century noblewoman enjoying chocolate, which, for all she knows,
You know, a very relatable analogy.
We all got the not having sex one.
Yeah, like you didn't need to sit there and be like, let me explain to you what not having sex is
It's almost more so if he was like not giving himself chocolate. Then we would need the reference.
14th
Sorry, go ahead.
century noblewoman enjoying chocolate, which, for all she knows, may or may not be the last chocolate ever shipped in from the New World for another decade. How can I stop from being a classic sitcom middle-aged man condemned to a sexless marriage? Because I'm so tired of sneaking out of bed when she falls asleep to masturbate to porn on my iPhone in the cold bathroom. It's getting sad.
Heat up the bathroom, step one.
And there are big scary spiders in there.
What?
P.S. When sex happens, it's great. She comes, or at least pretends to, every time.
Super cool.
Yeah, dude.
There's a very real answer to this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The fact of the matter is chances are, if you step back and you take a look from the situation from the outside, you are taking your girlfriend or significant other for granted.
How so?
Because you live together now and you see each other. When
Yeah.
you didn't used to live together, it was probably like when you were going to go on a date, you cleaned yourself up and you made plans to do things and you went out and you met somewhere nice and you really earned it and were very romantic.
But you can't do that every night.
Bravo.
Yeah, now you live together and you're sitting on the couch watching Netflix and you're like, we'll probably have sex tonight. Well, you used to work for it.
Yeah.
And you
Oh.
both did. I'm not saying you have to work to earn sex from anybody, but you used to make an occasion out of it. And it was a thing where you'd go on a date and it was very romantic and you established an air of romance.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas now you're just assuming sex happens because you're in a relationship. And that's not sexy. There's nothing romantic about that at all.
Would you say he has to lower or raise his sexpectations?
I think what you should focus on is, especially, I'm sorry to call you out, but if you're sneaking off to the bathroom to masturbate, it sounds like you're pretty focused on your own needs and your own wants.
Oh.
And I would say that if your significant other, their interest in sex is decreased, it's probably because you are not making them feel sexy.
Oh, that's-
You are not making them feel wanted.
So that's much better.
Are you
than
sure
my
you don't want to
advice.
host a legit advice-giving podcast?
Yeah, that was really
like
good.
fucking. I can't
Thank
even
you.
add anything to that.
I've been working a lot. I've done
correct.
314 episodes. Every so often I learn a little bit about relationships.
I was going to say he should not even go to the bathroom anymore. He should just fucking do it in bed until.
And if she
his-
rolls
his
over,
wife
it's like,
finds
check it out. But I think that at the end of the day, you should focus on making her happy and giving her whatever it is that you're not doing.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not saying it's all your fault. I think it might be both of you. But the only person whose actions you can control are your own. And also, tell her. If you're sneaking off to the bathroom, you would be amazed how much your life will benefit just by saying hey, I want you to know what I'm thinking and feeling right now. And in this moment, I feel like we've kind of lost a little bit of the spark and I don't want it to be like that. I want to find it again and we should do whatever we need to do that. And it's important to me because sitting on it and knowing you feel that way and not telling your partner is a really great way to ruin your relationship because you know it. and you know how you feel. You're writing into an advice podcast. You shouldn't be talking to us about it. You should be talking to her about it.
I think. Do you want us to unmount the? You have to drop the mic.
Well,
So
I'll just take it
but
and
it's
walk around the
mounted.
room. I feel like I should be.
It's mounted to this.
Maybe you can lower it onto the couch.
Yeah, because that's
Like
a mic
soft
drop.
thud.
That's the end. That's the right answer.
I
There's
mean,
nothing
really
else.
what it comes down, and because I will say that even though we do bad joking advice on the podcast, like the number one answer to any interpersonal question is always like, okay, have you told them?
Yeah,
It's like, because if
communication.
not, like that's
How
step
would they know?
one all the time. Is like, you asked about like millennials, and it's like, is this the thing, the indirect communication where you just kind of want people to read your mind and know how you feel, so you don't have to actually
That's
say
dangerous,
it?
Yeah.
especially in relationships.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I think in relationships, everybody's kind of invested in each other.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be like, I'm going to tell my friend what I think, because there's a bit of a risk to be like, well, fuck off. And then, but like somebody you live with is way less likely
Especially
to be like,
if
fuck
you
off.
use I statements and you say like, I feel this way. I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like
I feel like you are making me
Well,
masturbate
that's
in the
the
bathroom.
thing. You have to be very careful
Right.
because if you say like, I feel like you're not interested in sex anymore,
Right.
I
That
feel like
turns-
you're not, and it's like
That's an
whoa,
I statement
fuck
made a you statement immediately.
right? But if you say, I feel like I'm not doing enough romantically, what can I do for you? Do you want to go out on a date this week? Do you want to go away for a romantic weekend? And also at the same time, there is a difference between like when you first start dating and you're very excited just to see each other,
Right.
and then you live together. I'm
Isn't
not
that
saying
an
you have
issue?
to lose the passion, but like it does happen.
Right, isn't
life
it
gets in the way.
inevitable? Like you can't keep up the same rate of sex as
You can't,
a
but
new
I also
couple.
think his sounds like it's slowed to a rate that he's really not okay with.
I think that's what it comes down to. Is like it can slow to a rate where everyone's comfortable. Like I enjoy this. Like we do it once or twice a week, and that's fine with everybody.
Right.
But if it slows to a point where one person in the relationship is unhappy,
Yeah,
like
you're doing it.
say it. Like
Have you said it?
have you said
Yep,
it?
said.
Or have you emailed it
Yeah.
and sent it?
Otherwise,
But there
you're
are,
just
like,
sitting
when
there
you-
quietly, like stewing about it. Like I want her to spontaneously want to have sex with me without me having to say something. It's
Yeah.
like, well, no.
And I think that, going on your point, like when you move in with somebody, the sex in a relationship is, maybe that's not necessarily exciting anymore, but there are a lot of exciting things that happen when you move in with somebody.
Yeah.
So explore that. And I think that is going to inject romance into your life. And then that might turn into
Also,
sex.
every so often, just focus on her. Don't expect her to do anything to you.
And also,
down.
try draping a towel over the corner of the tub and placing your phone on the toilet seat
Yeah.
if they're close to each other, because then it
that
won't
way
be
you
Maybe a
don't have to
space
hold
heater
it.
and some like sticky traps to kill the spiders.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe try beating each other up. I've heard that works.
Have you tried fucking in a canoe? I
You gotta
recommend
be careful. You gotta go front to back, not side to side.
I recommend a kayak. It won't tip over.
It's a lot harder. It will tip over. It's a lot harder to tip over.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't make promises. You can
It's
still
possible.
fuck a
That's
kayak
where we
over.
get.
you
That's
know
where
what
we
I mean?
get sued on this episode.
What happened to you guys? We fucked a kayak over. I don't know how else to say it.
Congrats, I guess.
Yeah, good for you. No, it was great. The water was cold.
Travis.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on our show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Where again? Let's remind our fans where they can find more of you and your online persona.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Travis McElroy, or at MBMBAM.
My brother, and me.
And you can just like Google my brother, me, or search for us on iTunes, or go to MaximumFun.org.
Yeah.
I also do a show that's not on MaximumFun.org called Interrobang, where me and my friend Tybee talk about like the things that are frustrating us in the world, and we try to. And I do a show with my wife called Schmanners, where we talk about etiquette in the modern world and how it still applies.
Shit.
Between the three McElroys, we do something like 13 or 14 podcasts.
Suddenly I feel lazy. Maybe Jake and I should start more podcasts.
You should, man. It's great.
Yeah.
And so you can find all of those at McElroyshows.com.
Oh, wow.
MCELROY. And like we also have some weird like YouTube stuff on there and everything.
Do you have the record for most podcasts hosted right now? I don't know.
I
can't
don't
imagine
think so,
anybody
because
is.
for a long time my wife's rule was I could only have as many podcasts as Paul F. Tompkins has at his highest point.
The
And
PFT rule.
I think I've surpassed that, but I'm not sure. It's possible that I know Scott Aukerman's on a bunch.
On a bunch, but hosting this
It's
many?
true. I don't know. I just don't know.
We'll have somebody look into that for you. Anyway, if you have your own questions, your own theme song submissions, everything is to be sent to iwereyoushow@gmail.com. The opening theme song was written by Nick. This closing one is written by I couldn't find it. All I have written is Kanalakni. Kanalakni? I think that's how he said he pronounces it. Kanalakni. So thanks to Nick and thanks to Colin Ockley and thanks to you guys for listening and thanks to Travis again for coming on our show.
Thank you.
And once again, if all goes well, listen to Jake and me on My Brother and Me right now. You can do that right now. So check it out and listen to their other episodes too. Cool.
Peace.
Bye, everybody.
If I were you, if I were you, the show. If I were you, if I were you, if I were you, the show. They'll answer all your questions and they'll give their advice. I promise they'll be funny, but I can't say that they'll be nice. But hopefully you'll be like the pinch and you won't give a fuck. 'Cause otherwise you might kill yourself inside of a Starbucks. If I were you, if I were you, if I were you, the show. If I were you, if I were you, if I were you, the show starts now.
Hey, yes again, if you are still listening, we should mention that there are still tickets available to our show tomorrow, August 2nd, Tuesday, August 2nd, at the O2 Shepherd's Bush Theatre in London, England.
That's right. We do not come to London very often, and I believe the last time we were here was 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Well, shit. If you haven't seen our show, then you should come see it, and if you have seen it, then you should come see it again.
It's going to be a wild party. You guys ought to come. Hope to see you there. Toda!
That was a HeadGum podcast.